Cause people was getting shot. They was fighting them soldiers, man.
Yeah.
The dude, they was having war in the street. Like I told them, I've never been in the service before, but I've been in the war.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Right here in Kansas City, man.
RawFleshKC.com.
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 So used to ghetto living, to the deceased and lost souls. I let you know you're still missing, but before I go, I'm asking God for forgiveness, cause the streets is all I know. I'm so used to ghetto living, to the deceased and lost souls. I let you know you're still missing, but before I go, I'm asking God for forgiveness.
Man, I walk and talk, nothing but street knowledge. Never made it through high school, so I can see college. Never liked sports, but they quick to give me the ball and send me to the courts. In front of a judge with no remorse, trying to give me time. Think it's messing with my mind. Y'all must be blind, y'all done put me in the cuts to make more dope rhymes. I am designed to be a strong black king and gather up my people and tell them good things about the fiends, cause they got dreams too, but the dope took over their mind and make their dream not come true. I done saw people change, I done saw blood flow down the drain, but I'ma keep getting it through the summer, snow or rain, cause the
streets is all I know.
The streets are all
I'm so used to ghetto living, to the deceased and lost souls.
To the deceased and
I let you know you're still missing,
is that
but before I go,
my heart is with you.
I'm asking God for forgiveness,
never gonna forget you,
cause the streets is all I know. I'm so used to ghetto living, to the deceased and lost souls. I let you know you're still missing,
Forgive me, Lord, for all I've done.
I'm asking God for forgiveness.
I don't care if you worked, you couldn't be out there. The whole city, the street lights, out, blackout. Now just imagine this now. This is, I don't know who was in charge, but this must have been some type of war tactics they had. Because you wasn't supposed to be out.
His name was...
All these crowds, they was trying to do something to disperse these crowds because they knew that it could blow up any minute, you know, with all these people here. So they had to call national help. So the national government, I'm telling you, that's the first time I seen tanks. The first time I seen, they was rolling up there,
I tell you who was in charge. His name was Kelly. His name was Clarence Kelly. 2 years after the riots, he became director of the FBI.
I believe someone was...
the Kansas City police chief, as soon as J. Edgar Hoover died, he was sworn in the next morning as director of the FBI. That's who was running what he's talking about.
And they didn't have no sympathy on them crowds, man. They was they had shoot to kill orders, brother. It wasn't no warning.
And that's like it is to this day. They shoot to kill.
They had shoot to kill orders, man. And all those hey man, they didn't have no black National Guards. I didn't see none. They was all white.
Not back then.
I didn't see any, man. And they was all too happy to pop that thing. They was all too happy to
bust
shoot.
your ass.
They was all too happy, man. And I became a Black Panther. I wanted to know, and then I learned their creed and stuff like that. And I see the formation they had, and they saying that, listen, they were telling me that if the government is either unwilling or unable to protect black people here in this country, you know, they were saying that, listen, you can go to Vietnam and fight in defense of this country, but you can come back here and be mistreated, you know. as a person, as an American. It said and all of us get mistreated for the same reason. You know, all black people get. It said we don't get mistreated because we're an elk or a Mason. We don't get mistreated because we're American or Catholic or Christian. No, we say we all get mistreated for the same reason. You get mistreated because you're a black person, and that represents the status quo. When I say they, I mean the status quo was like you're either a Muslim or militant, being black, and it didn't matter which one was, because they hated both of them, so it didn't matter. So you was either a Panther, you was either a Muslim, you was either something that represented an enemy to the state or to the country. You wasn't American enough to be here in this country. So and so they said, well, we can form our own government. We can form our own armies. We can form our, and so this is the ideology that was behind the Panthers. This was the ideology that was behind the Muslims.
I heard when the Black Panthers first started, their name was the Self-Defense Black Panthers. Or
yeah. It was called
there was something like the regulators between the black people and the police. That's how they started.
Yeah,
they were originally a protection organization.
They would patrol their own neighborhood.
Yeah, right.
They would patrol their own neighborhood. They said that we should be able to, if the police or the government is either unwilling or unable to help black people should help themselves.
Shooting dice under the street lights, watching for the po-pos. The block kinda hot the other day, somebody got filled with bullet holes. That's the way it rolls when you living in the ghetto. I'm addicted to street life, something I can't let go. I blow dough to ease my mind, pressure and pain. It's messed up, little Tim got killed when he was only 13. Shattered his dreams, even shattered his mother's heart. Police took a life from a little kid before he even had a chance to start, with no remorse. How many kids y'all done found with the missing picture on the back of the milk carton? And I swear to God, everything I say is coming from the heart, telling me to change, man, and I'ma remain the same. And I'ma keep getting it through the summer, snow or rain, cause the streets is all I know. Streets is all I know. I'm so used to ghetto living, to the deceased and lost souls. To all my love, I'll let you know you're still missing. But before I go, just before I go, I'm asking God one thing I want you to know, cause the streets is all I know. The streets is all I know. I'm so used to ghetto living, to the deceased and lost souls. I'll let you know you're still missing. But before I go, I'm asking God for forgiveness. Now God, I'm asking you to guide my feet. I know I'm a strong man, but sometimes I get weak. Living these streets, toting my heat, looking for beef, and thinking to myself that everybody's against me. Walking this road, my heart is cold, and my anger shows that I was raised in this messed up ghetto. Air Max and T's, Casey hat and jeans. I'm walking through the hood, and my chick is with me. And I can make her sing like her name is Whitney. And I ain't gon' stop dumping till the clip is empty. Please don't test me, you might be next. From the kneecaps to the chest, all the way to the neck. My shells fly like jets, hit your body and wreck. I show you the true meaning of a ripple effect. I put one in your legs for trying to flex. I got a hood full of nuts that's ready to crack with no plex. For the money you came, for the streets and pain. And I'ma keep getting it through the summer, snow or rain, cause the streets are all I know. Please save me, Lord, forgive me, Lord.
What I remember about back then about the riots, man, I was involved with it. And that's my first taste of tear gas. I had never experienced that, man. We were on, we left Central. Different groups was getting together. They was all getting together in one mass group. You know, and the police was calling. They was trying to.
Ain't that where they turned the cars over? Police cars?
They turned buses over. They turned cars over. They turned everything, man.
Yeah.
I'm talking about those big yellow school buses.
Yeah.
They would turn them over, man. Those guys was turning them over, man, and then, and that's when I think either the governor he called for assistance
or the mayor. Somebody.
They declared martial law right here in Kansas City. And they sent the National Guards in.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I seen Army tanks rolling down the street. I'm talking about real tanks, man, real soldiers. I'm looking, I said, man, what? And they called for a blackout. I mean, you couldn't even, time it got dark, it was a curfew. You had to be in the house.
We had a 7 o'clock curfew in Kansas City.
7 o'clock curfew. Once it started getting dark.
Yeah.
And if you were driving your car, they would shoot your headlights out.
Yeah.
Pull you over, shoot your headlights out. It was a blackout, man. I mean, and they come with some with war tactics. These they were fighting the students and they were fighting the people, man.
Yeah.
And then we started listening to the news. They said, listen, you have a right to peaceably assemble. You had a right. These was guys that was coming out of college. They were studying law and stuff.
Right.
Those guys, H. Brown and Huey P. Newton. Those guys were law students. They wasn't
done. They
wasn't no militants, man. They took a militant stand and said that, hey.
Yeah.
So Huey P. Newton, he was one of the guys that started the
Black Panther movement. Right. Him and Bobby Seale.
Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seals, and Eldridge Cleaver.
Yeah.
Okay.
They started it. And see, and what young people don't know in Kansas City, Eldridge Cleaver was born and raised right here. He's Mayor Cleaver's cousin.